I just put these out. I maybe shouldn't. These were made by a Chinese company, and they decided that January 30th is unlucky. So it's missing January 30th in the first month. The rest of the calendar strip is correct. If you want to take one, please do. We have reordered. They told us to throw these away, but I thought I may never get another opportunity to give you a calendar for some of you. So just as long as you know that. And she will be handing out our Off the Beaten Piazza program, which I'm going to talk about. But I changed my presentation last night at 11:30 because I was just at our sales meeting in Denver, and we've got a couple announcements of some really cool things. So I'm going to try to go through this part fast and get to that if I can. So, without further ado, those of you, how many of you are new? Fairly new to the industry. Okay, so just in case you're not sure, what is this Globus family of brands that you're talking about? Who's this family? These are the 4 products that are part of our family. These are our children. So Globus is our first class, kind of bread and butter product, really, on really all continents. Antarctic is just kind of an extension from South America, but we offer all 7 continents. Cosmos is our value-priced, kind of more budget product. Hotels are more peripherally located in suburbs and fewer inclusions, and more often than not continental breakfast instead of a full American breakfast, which Globus is. Monograms is our independent travel program, so it's city stay modules. Many of them are combined city modules. And then Avalon Waterways is our river cruise product that the Globus family owns. So, without further ado, I'll continue on. Our motor coaches are state-of-the-art. These are all contracted. We don't own our motor coaches because you don't want to own a motor coach, because if you own one, you got to drive it for 10, 15, 20 years. Under contract, they can only be 3 years of age, and there's always exceptions. Usually the farther south you go, the more exceptions there are. But nonetheless, 36 passengers is the sweet spot for us, for Globus. We will take up to 40. There's companies out there that advertise how much space their leg room there is and all that. One of the major ones out there charges more for it, and we're a half an inch difference than that, so you're saving money. So, whatever, just thought I'd throw that out. Cosmos will take 44 passengers in Europe. The coaches themselves generally hold 49, unless you're in the UK. Some of our coaches are 52 passenger coaches, but we don't take 52 passengers. In Asia, the smaller groups, basically 20 is kind of the group size for Globus, 24 is the max generally for Cosmos. And of course, there's always exceptions, but that's generally the rule. First company to have Wi-Fi on board. We also have air conditioning, of course, and we have facilities on board. I've been in this industry a long time. There's not a driver alive that wants you to use their bathroom. But we do have them available in emergency cases. So not a problem if you need to use them. But the drivers have to clean them. They don't like doing it. So I'm going to talk about our Undiscovered Italy program to start with. You've gotten these really nice 4-color brochures. It's a program that was based off of some focus groups that we did with consumers. So you guys know what the #1 selling destination is for tour companies? Italy. That's right. A couple of years ago, Italy bookings were going down a little bit, not just for us, but for all of our competitors as well. So we wanted to do some research and figure out why. And so the basic answer that we got was, there really isn't much of an answer, other than been there, done that. So we thought, well, let's address that. We put together this program, and we're selling 22 cities to Italy that no other company is selling. So, and those companies, the cities that we are selling that others do as well, we're trying to do different things in those cities to make it interesting for those to come back to those cities and not be bored with what they did before. So it's kind of a combination of those two things. So we put together this really cool program, and it's a combination of Globus, Cosmos, and Monograms itineraries. And guess what happened? Our bookings are up 40% for 2018 to Italy. Bookings for 2019 are up. So we decided we can continue the program for 2019. So I'm just going to kind of go through a little bit about what the brochure is. It addresses the whole concept of being off the beaten, we call it off the beaten piazza, going to places people haven't been before, or rediscovering places that they have been in the past. And so it seems to be working really well. So it's a really nice piece. It's got a combination of various itineraries, kind of talks about Italy in general, talks about some of the cities themselves. Lucca is a beautiful city up in Tuscany, kind of must-see sightseeing there. The Duomo there, the big three cathedrals we're seeing. Padua, known as Padova in Italian, about a half hour away from Venice. Basically 12th century to 14th century architecture there. What else? It has a giant square there. Everybody talks about the square in Madrid. This one's almost equal. It's the second largest in Europe. Taormina is a city in Sicily, right in the eastern part where the volcanic region is. Mount Etna is there, a very active volcano. Lots of Greek ruins, Etruscan ruins, and from that point of view, really great to see. Spoleto is remnants of Roman and medieval pasts. Goes back to the Bronze Age. San Marino, which is actually an independent country. For all intents and purposes, it's Italian. But when the, 126 provinces consolidated into one, they were stubborn and didn't, so they're still an independent country. Ragusa is a city also in southern Italy, also on the island of Sicily. Beautiful old wall city there. Castellano Grotte is a giant cave. I took the tour this summer to Puglia, which is eastern Italy that goes down all the way into the heel, the boot of Italy. And it's on the way there, and it's caves, limestone caves that have been carved out by, basically running streams over the centuries. And it's one of the more amazing caves I've ever been into. And then Agrigento in southwest Sicily, another very ancient Greek city with a lot of Greek history and architecture ruins left there, dating way back to like 400 BC. There's other information in the book about the various cuisines of the area, and the food in Italy is rotten, right? I actually used to be svelte and skinny before I started going to Italy. Actually, I think I tried figuring it out one day. I think I'd been there 30 times to Italy, and I've never had a bad meal. And I say that in honesty. Well, except at one time. Here's some fun facts on foods. Do you know that Italians only drink coffee with milk in the mornings? So their cappuccinos or lattes are only in the morning. So what do they drink in the afternoon? Espresso, cafe. That's right. Maybe a little grappa. The average Italian consumes 26 gallons of wine a year. Did you know that? My kind of place. In Italy, the pepperoni, it refers to a pepper. If you want a pepperoni in Italy, you're not going to get the little slices of salami that you get on your pizza. They don't know they'll look at you funny if you're asking for that. On average, Italians consume 57 pounds of pasta per person. Amazing. Shopping, ceramics on the Amalfi Coast, which is, by the way, the Italian Riviera, Positano and Sorrento and down to Capri. Handmade sandals in Positano, limoncello in Sorrento. Do you all have limoncello? Yes. That's surpassed amaretto as the national aperitif of Italy. It's great. I was recently on a trip and stayed in Sorrento with my family, and none of them wanted theirs. So I obliged. I think it's the first time that my daughter has seen me drunk. It was embarrassing. Silk from Como, marionettes from Palermo, panforte and Siena. That's kind of like the Christmas cake that has nuts and stuff in it that has a shelf life of 39 years. So I'm just going to go through the itineraries real quickly. Hidden Treasures of Southern Italy, great program that does kind of the Amalfi Coast and all the way over again to Dos Leche and those areas down into the, not quite down to the heel, but on the east coast of the Tyrrhenian Sea and the Adriatic. Palermo to Taormina. This is an all Sicily itinerary. So it starts in Palermo and kind of follows the coastline around to those important cities. Nice itinerary. Excuse me. Just a couple more pictures of some of the places I was talking about. Reggio Calabria. Genoa is a port city to the northwest, which has recently had, that was where the bridge collapsed recently. Shades of Minneapolis. Yikes. San Marino, again, this is the independent country. Small, but beautiful. Maybe the most photographed spots for Italian tourism promotion is Cinque Terre, where you have the 5 villages on the Ligurian Sea. Basically, it's pedestrian. You walk from one to the other. The 5 is Rio Maggiore, starting from the south, moving north. They're not very far apart. Manarola, Corniglia is the kind of the main one where the train comes into light traffic to the outside of the city. Otherwise, there's no motorized traffic. It's all by foot. Vernazzi, and then lastly Monterosa, Almare, kind of north of that. You can't really see them, but it's going this direction. We generally bring in a lot of cases, we bring them in by boat, and then they spend the day there, and then we take them out by train. It's not always the case, but that's quite often how we're doing it. Gems of Umbria and Tuscany. This is a kind of a central Italian itinerary that takes, this is definitely for people who've been to Rome, Florence, and Venice before and want something different. The food is a little different here. This is a little bit more of a food-oriented itinerary. Lots of wine. You go to Parma. Anyway, just a nice itinerary, kind of doing that central area of Italy. Highlights of Sicily and southern Italy. Again, doing a little bit of the Amalfi Coast. It goes over to the east coast and then it goes down into Sicily. Apulia, the heel of Italy. So this is the itinerary. This is where we had our sales meeting, actually. We had our sales meeting on the very first departure. We took over the whole coach, us and our Canadian team. They sat in the back of the bus and said, "Hey," a lot. Well, anyway. This was a great itinerary. The only place I'd been to before was Naples, so it was new to me. I went to Bari, and then we went down to Lecce, and all these cities down along the coast. Fasano, and it was really great. The food there is a little bit different. Wine is plentiful. They basically have one kind of wine. Well, let's say 90% of it is one kind of wine, and it's made from the Primitivo grape. It's kind of like a Zinfandel in a way, very versatile, and it has high alcohol and high sugar. So it's a little bit fruity when you drink it, and it's like, well, 17% alcohol. And they make enough wine on a volume basis that they could supply all of Europe with their wine needs. So that tells you it's very prolific growing in that region. And I forgot the name of this city, where all the buildings in the town have this dome, and in the countryside they have this dome. So in the old days, 100 years ago, that was where the poor people lived, and it was their stable, their barn, their home, their kind of everything. And now it's chic. Everybody who's even rich wants them. So they build a new home, and you've got like 4 domes on it instead of a regular roof.
Albero Bello.
Oh, that's it. Thank you very much. Albero Bello. Sì, mille grazie. Sono molto simpatico. Gourmet Tuscany, need I say more? Emphasis on this is, the food in the Tuscan region. You've got the rolling hills, you've got the Chianti vineyards, fantastic. Magic of the Italian lakes, also a little bit different, very, very beautiful though. You Lake Garda, Lake Maggiore, Lake Como, and it borders Switzerland a little bit to the north, especially at Lake Maggiore. Half the lake is in Switzerland, half is in Italy. And Lake Lugano, which is where our world headquarters is. Beautiful. You've got snow-capped mountains, and you've got in the towns, along the lake, you've got palm trees. It's very unique, beautiful. Sicily discovered. Rome, a little of the Amalfi Coast, and then down into more of kind of northern Sicily. I want to stress all of the marketing materials that we have available on a place called The Source. We have an agent website, which is globusfamilypartners.com. But we also have The Source, which you can think of as your warehouse for marketing materials, ordering brochures, getting logos, all that kind of stuff, picture photos. And we have all this marketing material available for you. We have videos, you can put it on your social media, you can create flyers and postcards. Most of it is free. Usually takes 5 business days to get them completed. A lot of them are canned, you just need to put in your call to action and boom, you're done. So, more pieces. These are specific to the Italy program. And by the way, this is you all got one of these hopefully, this is the piece that we're carrying over for 2019. The brochure comes out on Friday, so we're a week early. This is what the brochure cover is going to look like. This is the new brochure. And so stay tuned, that'll be out shortly. In the meantime, for this week, we still have this one, which is, there's not a lot of itineraries in there, it's more of a marketing piece, but 80% of our product is available for sale currently online. All right, Escapes by Globus. Anybody know about this? I'm going to go through this really quickly. Escapes basically is a low-season winter program, November through March. There are 16 itineraries for 2019. Just to give you an example, it's low season, really well priced. It's a Globus program, so it's Globus Hotels, Globus Tour Director, Globus Motor Coaches, full American breakfast daily. It's just less sightseeing than normal, and it's winter. And here's the kicker, I want you to make sure you know this, it's only 10% commission, because the markups are low too. Our lead-in price last year of all the programs, 7 nights in Ireland for $549. India, 9-night program from $599, completely sold out.
Do they get beds and everything?
Beds, but no pillows. So yeah, so it's really kind of Globus Light, but I don't want to use that name because I have something else coming up called Light. Oh my God, I'm running out of time. So I'm just going to zip through this. These are some of the new itineraries. London and Paris Escape, Norwegian Fjords and Oslo, that just runs February, March. Helsinki, Tallinn, and Stockholm. Ireland and Britain Escape, Scottish Escape. By the way, they're all whatever Escape. That's how they're identified. Scottish Escape, $6.99. Northern Italy Escape, Bella Italia Escape, and Sorrento. Sicilian Escape, $7.99, really cheap. Swiss Escape, Moroccan Escape, Israel Escape. Anyway, you get the point. It's really, really a good value. Private touring, I also gave you a handout on that. Any Globus Europe program can be sold on a private basis, from 1 passenger to 24 passengers. It's the regular itinerary, and then there's an example in here. There's a supplement charge based on how many passengers you have. So obviously if it's 1, 2, or 3 passengers, it's going to be a high supplement. But if you get 16 up to 24 people, it's really a good deal if you want to do a private departure. It's everything like the normal Globus tour. Maybe the transportation's different based on the number of people. You still have a tour director and all that. So that's a program available. Again, I got to sit through that because I talk too much. Cosmos Light. This is a new program that launches next Friday. It's going to be a tiny little brochure. Oh, by the way, the Escapes program, there's no brochure. It's online only. Cosmos Light, there will be a brochure on the insert of the regular Cosmos program. It's regular commissions with Cosmos. It's a 13% commission. That is our standard commission with Cosmos. But it's going to be, basically, we're providing a Cosmos tour director, the motor coach, all the hotels. Other than that, everything is open to whatever your clients want to book. If they want to book a day sightseeing, they book that. So we're creating kind of a shell and giving them the freedom to do whatever they want to do. If they don't want to do anything in the morning and they want to sleep in, they can do that. That's totally up to them. So we're just kind of providing that basic thing, and then they can add on to that. All right, So I just want to touch on one more thing. We talked about the Discover Italy program off the beaten piazza. We're doing the same thing for Great Britain called Take the Cobblestones Less Traveled. It's going to a lot of cities that haven't been in traditional programs and some really neat, unique itineraries. That will launch next Friday also. So that's kind of our new thing. Sorry, I'm always running out of time.
Is there a way to, that presentation now to us?
If you want copies of the presentation, just send me an email. So, I guess we're done? Yes?
No, it doesn't matter.
What? Oh, yeah, we're done. Sorry, thank you.
Looking us out, that's it.